Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. The Derb is over there in Mission Control.
Hi guys!
And this is a review of Unfriended 2 Electric Dark Webaloo. I don't know how that works.
Dark Weeaboo!
This, if you've ever seen the first Unfriended, and don't worry if you haven't because you didn't miss anything, it was better than this. This was fucking terrible. It was directed by Steven Susko, who apparently who produced The Possession. That explains a lot. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. That explains a lot. He was a writer on The Grudge 2, and Beyond the Reach, I'm sorry, I'm looking at notes here, by the way, because basically it's hard to remember and commit this shit to memory. I forgot most of the characters' names by the time we were halfway through the movie. It took, I think it was a collection of maybe 8 people, maybe 7, and everybody died except one. Or maybe, I don't know, there were a few that actually were kind of like just off-camera deaths. The first one, and if you guys remember, by the way, there's going to be spoilers from here on out, so, and don't be, if you can't figure out where the fuck the Unfriended Dark Web is going, that's your problem.
Everybody dies, the end!
Yes, pretty much. I
haven't seen it.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, it's pretty much, besides one person. In the first one, you had a girl that basically it was a ghost that possessed a computer and possessed a Skype chat. And was like an MTV-produced movie for like $1 million. I mean, if it was $1 million, it was actually it was not very well spent because pretty ass. But the thing is, you all got, there was a sense of friendship among these people, even though they turned on each other so quickly. Different type of Skype chat. But this was not very good. This sequel, however, took whatever campiness and whatever slight realism there might have been among friends and threw it out the window. Did you see Truth or Dare? Check out my review of it, by the way. I'll put a movie list of my reviews, playlist at the end of the video. But you ever saw my Truth or Dare review? Here's the whole thing about it. Everybody was a stock character. There was a gay character, there's this, there's that. There's this one guy in Unfriended Dark Web, there's this guy that is a conspiracy theorist guy and does a whole channel or whatever. He's like Alex Jones with, out the alt-right stuff and without the drug issues. And without being a denier of everything. You also have, Matthias, and shockingly, the rumors were Jake Paul, one of the Paul brothers, was not in this. So unless he was going under a different name here, he was not in this movie. I wouldn't actually know who any of the Pauls are because they're idiots. And I try not to pay attention to idiots because I'm enough of an idiot as it is. But you had a few cool people in it, like as far as people that tried. You had a really pretty blonde in it. And she was going to be married to, you had a typical lesbian couple. They were going to be married soon. Cool, okay. Interracial lesbian couple. All the intolerant fucks that watched this, their heads were exploding. So here's basically the idea of Unfriended. It has nothing, I don't think it has any connection to the first one. And if it does, I can't be asked to really remember. But this guy, Matthias, he plays a typical idiot with about 5,000 pounds of hair. It's amazing that it fits in the shot. It's not an afro either. He manages to secure a laptop and finds all this shit on there. And it's from an internet cafe. Which right there, if it's in Lost and Found and somebody loses a laptop, the first thing you do is take it. You don't bother to, maybe turn it on and find out where somebody is and say, hey, I found your laptop. Would you like to come get it? I'm at this and this address. No, you take it. You go install some software that helps you talk to your deaf girlfriend while you're busy talking to a bunch of other girls that you're apparently going to use pay for plane tickets to come over. You're going to have a giant orgy. Well, I guess this deaf girl can't hear you. I don't know what's going on exactly with the plot.
Capitalism!
I just don't understand that. The whole thing is, people, you really shouldn't do that. I mean, come on, be faithful in relationships. Don't fucking be like me. Little bit of an insight to how much of a jerk I am. But yeah, as you say, capitalism. But possession is 9/10 of the law, and unfortunately, this costs the guy.
Possession was 1/10 of the first movie.
Shockingly, it seemed like everybody else was possessed in it because no one acted like a real human being. No one acts like a human being in this one either. You got and I don't even actually know what nationality she is, so I apologize. So I'm just going to say Asian or of some sort of Asian country descent. And she is, I think she was speaking Mandarin to her mom at some point, but she was shouting. Her name was Lexi.
Oranges, nectarines.
Oh man, you arranged that pun really well. So you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, what's going to go on with all these characters? You know what's going to go on with all these characters? Not a whole lot. These guys do not seem like they're friends. Apparently they meet up and have this kind of game night, and Matthias happens to say, hey, I got this laptop. And I at first he says I found it on Craigslist. Well, then he starts getting these Facebook chats from, oh, could it be the same person from the other movie? Could this be a possession thing? Nope. It turns out it was actually from somebody that was using it, that was getting cryptocurrency for kidnapping young girls and selling them, I think, into sex slavery?
That sounds like Bitcoin.
You know what? Isn't that what Bitcoin basically is? I mean, but anyway, that's about as much as I could ascertain from it. The girls were just being kidnapped. I don't even know if it was sex slavery necessarily, but the idea is, okay, you got all this, like the circle that found out. And no, I'm not talking about the Emma Watson Tom Hanks movie, though that was infinitely better than this, and that movie was shit. And Emma Watson also, I don't think has got grown beyond 16 years old. Still looks 16 to me. That's a little frightening. She's got that Lucy Hale vibe where she hasn't grown up beyond her high school years. It's really odd. But whatever, good for her. It'll benefit her when she's 50. But anyway, so let's break down the plot. I just broke down the fucking plot for you. You do not have any campy, humorous stuff of like somebody putting their hand in a blender and watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion.
Rendezvous, and I'm through with you.
The problem is he was a right-hander, so his left hand had to get a lot more work out after that. Wait, he died. That would have been difficult. Any of the characters that died in the first one, you didn't really give a shit about, but it was sort of humorous. In this one, you guys ever see VHS, first VHS? The one tape where the girl takes, and by the way, spoiler if you haven't seen VHS, but if you haven't by now, sorry. This girl takes a whole bunch of her friends to the woods, and by the way, I'm using you guys as bait to lure out this weird digital creature, the weird digital thing that, like, you couldn't see it until you could see it. So it's like John Cena, essentially. Ba 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 ba. If you put the Nakamura glasses on, you can see Cena. That's what this movie reminded me of. Because any time that any of the bad people appeared that were kidnapping these young girls, or wanted the laptop back, including this one particular guy, that actually says he wasn't a bad guy, even though he was getting paid to kidnap young girls. He sounds like such a great guy. Or that he works for the Trump administration. But that's moving on from that. So the guy ends up basically wanting to get the laptop back. Okay, he's hacking the thing and this kind of stuff. And anytime he appears on screen, or any of these other guys appear on screen, or girls, because you never really see their faces, it all the weird, weird like distortion stuff and that kind of. It's like if a dial-up was brought back while you were in the middle of a video call and everything distorted. And they did the distorted stuff in the first one, but the first one it sort of worked because it was cheap. This one looked like they pumped a little more money into it, yet it also felt a lot cheaper as far as the script and stuff like that. There was not much to this movie. There really wasn't. You had no sympathy for any of the goddamn characters. A lot of the deaths happened off screen. You had, and by the way, again, spoilers if you're still watching at this point. Guy gets shot because his computer gets hacked and they use a bunch of his like crazy, sound clips from his show to make it sound like he was going to do some really, really bad things and the police invaded his house. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to actually say what it was. It was pretty bad. So yeah, he got shot. No animals died in this movie. That is thankful. That's what I always hate about some horror movies. And I mean, I'm not a connoisseur of horror movies, but I tend to like a lot of horror. I know what you're doing over there. I do watch a lot of horror movies. And I can find a lot of entertaining stuff about it. I could not find anything entertaining. Because the first time Friend had played it, while it played it straight, it did also play for some laughs. And it was campy. It's hard not to be when you're staring at a fucking computer screen in a Skype call for 85 minutes. In this one, you're staring at Skype calls and watching people use all this technology that's still going to be outdated in like 5-6 months, I'm sure. So there's no sympathetic characters, by the way. You sort of feel for the girl that's the deaf girl. You Armia, or whatever the heck her name is. I mean, sorry, I didn't bother committing this shit to memory. I mean, it's like, why in the world would it matter? Let's see. Nari? No, not Nari.
That's the name of my friend's corgi.
Really? Amaya. She was actually very pretty. I actually hope that quite a few of the people in this movie can go far because, to be fair, A lot of people starting a lot of shit in horror movies. Hey, George Clooney was in Return to Horror High, and look where he is now. Return to Horror High was actually a decent horror movie. Do a retro review of that sometime. But, Unfriended Dark Web. Everybody dies. Pretty much at the end. As people start dying and falling off and everything, first Matthias reveals, oh, it's all a game. All these videos you just saw where this girl's trapped in a barrel or this girl gets kidnapped. Oh, no, it's all a game. It's all a game. Because he didn't want his girlfriend or a girl that he wants to be his girlfriend or whatever, I don't know, got killed. Oh, and there's a weird guy in London. That's sort of important to the plot because digital killers can't get him. About that, they do, by the way, spoiler. Everybody dies. That's pretty much it. Guy gets buried at the end. We're not supposed to, if we're supposed to have any sympathy for this Matthias guy, how can you? One, if he really loves this girl. He's talking to so many other women. It's ridiculous. He doesn't love this woman. He's trying to do the right thing. You know how you do the right thing? You don't steal a fucking laptop and open up all this shit and be like, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna take your laptop. And find a whole bunch of dark web shit where people can track you. Human trafficking, all that kind of shit, assassination. Yeah, it's kind of bad. That's really, really bad. So yeah, if you're going to watch this, I'm just going to tell you, if you're going to watch this movie, enjoy it for the fact that watch it with a bunch of friends and watch it while you're drunk. I don't drink, but a lot of people are going to need to watch this while drunk. And it's also rated R. I think the first one was also rated R, but it's not very good. Oh, and the guy ends up buried alive at the end of the whole damn thing. And we're supposed to feel bad because the video feed is distorting his lips, so his girlfriend can't read, his lips. Wait, what? I can't read your lips. It's like The Haunting at Whaley House. That was supposed to be like a sympathetic ending, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the movie. Or Waverly House. It was not sympathetic. You didn't care one bit or whatever. So the bottom line is Unfriended Dark Web gets an F. And it gets an F because, quite frankly, it took any potential from Unfriended and threw it in the toilet, and there wasn't much potential in Unfriended. Nor there was in Friend Request, and I will probably at some point do a which was worse between Unfriended, Friend Request, and Unfriended Dark Web. That's going to be difficult, especially since I'm just going to be slamming everything. But if there's one positive with this movie, it's about 80 minutes long, and you can get through it. But it's pretty bad. Like, no good deaths. It sounds like at one point this one girl gets killed sort of off screen from her computer perspective. But it sounds like instead of hitting her with a hammer, it sounds like the killer brought in a car door and slammed her in the head with a car door. That's how bad the sound was in this. And somebody also gets pushed in front of a subway. You're not going to care about this movie. And there are slow burn, found footage movies or, these type of movies. And then there's this shit. Nothing good about it. Anyway, that's what I gotta say. Agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. And it's been real awesome with John Rethlin. Derb over there.
It does!
And see you soon. Some point. Maybe. Hell, I don't know.
Soon.